All right, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is
TaijhTV.
episode 125. Thank you for joining me along this journey. It's been great. It's been fantastic. It's been a hard journey, um, but I have no complaints. Anyway, climate change. The dreaded, the dreaded climate change. First, let me play a little clip so you can kind of grasp what the media and the big dogs tell us about climate change.
Well, as we keep an eye on Earth, it's been $1 trillion over the past 7 years. This is according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. It says last year's price tag was $165 billion. Hurricane Ian was the costliest weather event of 2022. NOAA also examined the human toll, blaming extreme weather for more than 5,000 deaths over the past 7 years. Another report says last year's been the warmest on record for the planet. The report says last year was the fifth warmest since records kept describing extremes.
There is some good news when it comes to our planet. The Earth's ozone is on track to recover completely within 2 decades. The United Nations report says this is because ozone chemicals are being phased out all around the world. The ozone layer protects our planet from harmful ultraviolet rays. The use of chlorofluorocarbons has dropped 99% since.
But yet the world is getting hotter. The ozone is fixing itself like it always does, I'm sure. But yet they say that the world is getting hotter. Kind of doesn't go together, does it? But that's because there's a bigger plan. These elites who control the media, the propaganda that's spewed to the masses, these people want to be God. If you ask them, they'll probably call themselves gods. They are what the Egyptians thought when they heard Ra. They are what the Greeks thought when they heard Zeus in their minds. They are the human gods. They are the gatekeepers in their minds. Bill Gates wants to dim the sun. Billionaire Bill Gates, who has went all across this globe promoting vaccines for the last, 30, 40 fucking years? Now he wants to dim the sun. Now the ozone has fixed itself to take away the harmful rays from the sun, but he still wants to dim it. China puts a sun up in the sky. Maybe that was for when the dimming happens. We still have light. They are the light bearers, are they not? If you believe in the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, wouldn't they, Bill Gates and company, be the illuminated ones? Let's listen to Tucker and what he has to say about this.
Billions out of creating super clunky corporate software. What he didn't realize is that Bill Gates doesn't think of himself that way. Bill Gates doesn't think of himself as some guy who got super rich making bad software. Bill Gates thinks of himself as God, in control
Ooh, Tucker even says it.
of the solar system. And that's why Bill Gates is now backing something called sun-dimming technology that would reflect sunlight out of the Earth's atmosphere, causing global cooling. Ooh, that's not fraught with risks. You thought danger was dangerous. Try that. But that doesn't stop Harvard University. Its scientists are testing that technology by spewing calcium carbonate dust into the atmosphere.
They're spewing carbon, calcium dust, whatever the fuck he said, in our atmosphere, which just healed itself so they can block the sun. Maybe that was the chemtrails for the last, since the 70s, 50 years? Maybe that's what the job of chemtrails was, to dim the sun. These people do not stop with, how can I say, spreading chemicals, cancerous chemicals to the masses. Bill Gates has talked about how the world is overpopulated. These people are showing you how evil they are with the smile on their face. And yet we still spend our money on their technology, which money isn't shit anyway. Once you reach Bill Gates level, money ain't shit. Influence is everything. And as long as we continue to praise this man, he'll have major influence to do what the fuck he wants to do. And many like him. Elon Musk too. I know he's a god to some of you guys, and you think he's so conservative. What the fuck ever. Elon is a part of this whole fucking Illuminati as well.
Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical climate change solution, creating a massive chemical cloud that could cool the Earth. It's called solar geoengineering, and it's highly controversial. It would look something like this. Thousands of planes would fly very high and use nozzles to inject millions of tons of light-reflecting particles into the stratosphere. It would create a thin chemical cloud, blocking some sunlight. It would mimic a giant volcanic eruption, which we know cools the Earth.
Now, just to restate, Bill Gates is not God. Bill Gates is some kind of weird, socially awkward rich guy who lives in Seattle. He doesn't own the planet, but he's now changing the planet single-handedly. This is not just over his yard in Seattle. This is over your yard.
This is like some Thanos shit. Like, Bill Gates believes what he's doing is right for humanity, and it has to be done. The only thing is, this planet has no superheroes. There is no Iron Man coming to save you. There is no Hulk coming to save you. And these people know that. They're challenging God. If you're a spiritual person, like I am, you understand this. These people care nothing more than challenging God. That's all science is anyway. Most of science is a theory that counters the Bible. Anybody sees that. They're going to block out the one thing that probably has preserved this world. They're going to block that out. What was that rich guy's name that was in the wheelchair? And they asked him, how would humanity end? Like, how would the world end? And he answered, it's not going to be an asteroid. It's going to be humans. Humans will kill themselves off. It's starting to look more and more like that. Is that the end goal? Is the end goal to kill humanity? To get the people to kill themselves? Because the spiritual evilness can't do it physically? So they have to persuade others to do it? Is that the end goal? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not God. And nor do I think I am. I'm only a man. But he's not the only one, Bill Gates that is trying to block the sun. The White House, America, is trying to block the sun. President Joseph fucking Biden is trying to block the sun. Why? What are these illuminated ones thinking and doing behind closed doors?
Stopping climate change. No. Now the White House says blocking the sun might be the answer, but what would that look like?
Interesting.
Take it.
Take it. Interesting. Take it. No, you media outlets are puppets. You are the voice of the propaganda. You are what is enabling them to do this. There was once upon a time where the media held people accountable, billionaires alike, kept them in check. Now they just get paid off with worthless fucking paper, and they'll do the bidding of these billionaires, these elites. How is this funny that billionaires want to block the one natural resource that we all depended on since the beginning of time? And then God created light out of darkness. And now they want to take that away. This is where we're at in 2023.
I tell you, when I first started reading this article, it was like I just started diving in, and then it was like offshoot articles and this and that. So,
yeah, you started diving in the millions of dollars that the elites gave you to spew the propaganda in which you're about to spew.
let's talk about this. On October 13th, the White House announced it was funding a 5-year research plan with about something called geoengineering, specifically solar radiation management to artificially modify the Earth's climate. This comes off some studies back in the 1800s. Bear with me here. In 1816, in April, the Tambora volcano erupted in Indonesia with such force that it resulted in something called the year without the summer. I'm not sure if you've ever heard that term before.
No, I haven't.
Back in 1816, the year without
We know the winner writes history, so whoever was controlling the world, whoever had this great agenda that started back then to be gods, I'm sure that they did anything to be gods, and they said shit like this. It's just the new generation now is picking it up with their technology, with their paid promotion with media, and they're running with it. This thing goes all the way back. Knights of Templar and all that shit. This is nothing new. The only difference is we get to see it. Humanity gets to see it, and they have us cheering for it. Stalin had his people cheering for communism. Hitler had his people cheering for the white race. And they have the world cheering for climate change. That doesn't exist. It does not fucking exist. Humanity just can't live and do what we're here to do. Nobody on this planet beyond the illuminated ones know exactly why humans are here. What the fuck is our purpose? Is our purpose really to work? Are we really the only species whose purpose is to work, to earn a living that they have designed themselves? And when I say they, the elites where money doesn't even fucking matter, is that our purpose? Or are we all supposed to be crabs in a bucket, designed to stay in that bucket? These guys are trying to take away the fucking sun. China just sent a fucking fake sun in the atmosphere. But yet they just said that the ozone layer has fixed itself. So what do you think these particles are going to do to the ozone layer? Come on, people. This isn't hard to see. It's not hard to understand. You just don't want to seem like a fucking whack job because the media portrays people like me who want to get to the truth as whack jobs. Come on now. It's not hard to see. It's really not. But that's not all what greasy Bill Gates wants to do. He also wants to change the way we eat, what we put in our bodies. He already gets down with the whole vaccine shit. Now he wants to dive deep into our food. And guess what he blamed it on? You got it. Climate change.
Now, a large part of the carbon we have in the atmosphere now is caused by the electricity grid, which is about 25% or so.
Exactly.
So 24%, it comes from agriculture and forestry. Why is that causing such a big increase in carbon?
Well, that category is a variety of things. When you clear land, you're taking in the carbon that's stored, say, in the trees or plants there, and you're releasing all of that, like burning the land, say in Indonesia for palm oil plantations. Another thing is that cows and other grass-eating species have a system that emits methane.
Oh my gosh. This planet, for thousands of years, has had species fart. They're blaming cows fucking farting for destroying the ozone. and us simpletons believe it. We fucking believe it. This guy's blaming cows. I think I read an article not too long ago where it was saying, compared to like the 1700s, 1800s and shit, we're short on cows. On farming. There's a goddamn issue with farming. But this guy has the audacity at the Economic Club in Washington, D.C. If that doesn't sound elitist, I don't know what does. But this guy has the audacity to spew this bullshit to the masses. And I guarantee they're going to cheer for him when he's done with the bullshit. That's what's ruining the ozone layer. Bullshit. That's what it is. It's nothing to do with cows.
And methane is a very powerful greenhouse gas. And so cows alone account for about 6% of global emissions. And so we need to change cows, just cows alone.
How are we going to do that?
Well, actually, of all the categories, the one that...
Look at that face. That face right there, that's the face of, I'm about to spew some bullshit. I'm about to tell you guys a fucking fairy tale, and you'll love it. I sound so smart. That's what that face looks like. Volcanoes. One eruption puts up more fucking methane or whatever the fuck it was than cows. I wonder what his private jet spews out when he's traveling the fucking world promoting vaccines and promoting bullshit. I wonder what his private jet fucking spews out. I wonder what all these elites' private jets spew out while they're going to their climate change agenda fucking conferences.
It's gone better years ago. Is this work to make what's called artificial meat? And so you have people like Impossible or Beyond Meat, which I invested in.
You eat it as well, or do you like it?
Absolutely.
You do.
You can go to Burger King, burger.
All right. Is it healthier for you, or just healthier for the atmosphere?
It's slightly healthier for you in terms of less cholesterol.
It's slightly healthier for you in terms of less cholesterol. That shit's going to give us cancer. The injections in which they put in the meat anyway has been giving us cancer. Heart attacks. I mean, he just talked about cholesterol, high blood pressure with normal meat that has chemicals in it from the injections we give our animals anyway. We live in a crazy, crazy world where us simpletons believe anything.
It's, of course, dramatic reduction in methane emissions, animal cruelty, management, and the pressure that meat consumption puts on land use.
Did that sound like a whole bunch of bullshit? Sound like a whole bunch of bullshit to me. And now you have the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, just yesterday, coming out saying that the debt ceiling on the 19th, if it doesn't get raised, America will not be able to pay its bills. Listen to this, and I'll tell you why I'm showing you this and why it's important.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Friday Congress, the U.S. is expected to hit its debt limit next Thursday. The current national debt stands at more than $31 trillion. The country's total borrowing limit is $31.4 trillion. Yellen informed lawmakers that once the limit is reached, the Treasury will start taking, quote, extraordinary measures to prevent a default, like delaying some payments. Let's bring in Javier David. He's managing editor of business and markets at Axios and a CBS News contributor. What happens if the U.S. hits that debt ceiling?
Well, what would happen is you may very well have the scenario that some have warned about for years, but never quite managed to come to fruition, that the U.S. will default on its debt. That means bills won't get paid, interest payments won't get made, and it could be borderline catastrophic for the U.S.
No, it will be catastrophic. the collapse of the dollar will happen and the trust within the dollar. So what will they do to get that trust back? Well, they're going to create a CBDC bank digital, and I've been warning you plenty of times. And they're going to do it in the name of climate change. See, climate change will enslave us all. It's going to enslave us all. Climate change, climate change, climate change. You have to love it. Listen to this.
One is a 56-second video of the BIS General Manager, Augustine Carstens, in October 2020, explaining that with CBDC, they will have central control to set the rules and enforce them centrally.
Our analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, tend to establish the equivalence with cash. And there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who control on rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability.
Did you catch that? With the CBDC, this Bank of International Settlement will have central control on how you spend your money. Well, I know many of you are like, TaijhTV, central bank digital currency is only a theory. They're not even talking about it in Congress. They're not doing anything about it. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I'm going to show you a video of Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, talking about this at a committee in Congress just last year. Listen to her and listen to how she incorporates climate change to the necessity of owning a CBDC that will control your life. Just listen to her.
How to build a better banking system, we need to rethink the use of environmentally wasteful cryptocurrencies. If I can, let me just get through these quickly. Dr. Narula, let me ask you, from the research you and your colleagues at MIT have done, is it possible to design a central bank digital currency that does not require miners to perform random numeration puzzles?
Yes, it is.
You could design it so it wouldn't consume more energy than a middle-sized country?
Yes, you can.
And could we have a central bank digital currency that doesn't exacerbate?
Look at the smile on their faces. This is all a script. It's all a script. They know what the fuck they're doing. They know what they're saying. They're confusing the public. They're thinking, oh, it's a great job, net zero. These guys, these women and men are evil. I'm sorry. They're fucking pure evil.
Climate crisis and environmental justice.
Just consume.
I'm like, look, see, like Bitcoin are terrible for the environment. And
cryptocurrencies will get some of us out of the enslavement in which they're trying to throw us in, by the way. And if you don't believe me, you just watch the show I did last week. I talk about it.
That would be true regardless of whether we were getting anything productive out of that energy usage or not. The fact that we're not makes it even more seamless. One of the easiest and least disruptive we do to the climate crisis is crack down on environmentally wasteful cryptocurrencies. And now is the time.
And now we need to enslave the masses because they're stupid. They don't understand what we've been doing for the last fucking 50 years. Listen to this gentleman at the World Economic, I think this was last year's World Economic Forum. Listen to what he has to say about carbon trackers and CBDCs. See, they love using climate change to go with the agenda that they have set forth. And this isn't just one side of the aisle. It's not just Democrats. It's American government doing this.
We're developing
through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
Stay tuned. They're telling you what they're going to do. They're going to track your travel, what you're eating, what you're drinking, your fitness. They're going to track who you're with. The date you went on last week, they're tracking it. The sneaky link and the hotel you got, they're tracking it. If you pay your taxes, they're tracking it. See, a lot of Republican friends, oh, the IRS, there's a bill out there to eliminate the IRS. They don't understand that they're going to still fucking pay taxes, and it's going to be tracked with the CBDC that they have to use. All in the name of climate change. You see, you might fool other people, government, but you don't fool TaijhTV. You don't fool me. I'm just letting you know. I ain't the one. I just hope I can capitalize on your bullshit. Listen to this guy and what he has to say. If it plays. There it goes.
So let's have a digital health acknowledged by WHO. If you have been vaccinated or tested properly, then you can move around. So for the next pandemic, instead of stopping the movement of the people 100%, which clog the economy globally, you can still provide some movement of the people. Indonesia has achieved.
He wants the CBDC to be intertwined with health records. It's kind of like China. If your digital ID isn't green, your ass ain't going anywhere. Your ass ain't going anywhere. And if it turns red in the grocery store, the whole fucking grocery store shut down because you're in there for 10 days. Everybody. Workers, shoppers, everybody. This is how evil this thing is going to be. Now, who I think the CBDCs are for, it's going to be for the people who weren't ready for this. It's going to be for the middle class that used to be the middle class that is no longer the middle class, and they're going to need government assistance. Yeah, that's what the CBDC is for. If you don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. I'm going to show you this video in its entirety, because I want you to truly understand what's really going on. And I think this sums it up very well. It's about 4 minutes long. I just want you to take a look. I'm going to full screen it for us. Actually, does it even full screen for you? It might not. It's all good. But I want you to watch it, listen to it, because it really breaks this thing down.
The 15-minute cities that everyone is talking about now is the Great Reset's trendy new name for open-air prison camps. The idea is to corral everyone into neighborhoods small enough to walk from one end to the other in 15 minutes. Everything you need within a half-mile radius.
And this is going to be, again, my opinion, the people who need CBDCs, who need government assistance. If you have no ownership in a home, if you have no ownership and no stake in a company, if you don't have any of that, and you're going to be purely, which 99% of humanity is going to be purely on government assistance, we're going to move you to these FEMA camps. If you haven't seen these FEMA camps, look at them. They are little communities, school, shopping area, hospital, surrounded by barbed wire to keep people in. Google it. It's out there. They don't hide this. I told you last week, they're not hiding it. They're just not promoting it. That's where people are going to be. They haven't used, to my knowledge, they haven't used FEMA camps since WW2 with the Japanese. So why are they still up? They'll knock down your Walmart as soon as it leaves the next day, but they've been having these FEMA camps up since WW2 and renovated them. These FEMA camps look like legit fucking neighborhoods. I can't make this shit up. But again, everything within 15 minutes is going to be within a half-mile radius. You won't have a car. The World Economic Forum already told you they're getting rid of fucking private ownership for people who are on government assistance. You're not going to have anything. And you will love it because everything's going to be free.
So that you'll never, ever have to leave.
These Dutch cities are banning petrol and diesel delivery vehicles to tackle air pollution and climate change.
Did you catch that? These Dutch cities who are already doing it are banning gas-guzzling vehicles to battle what? You guessed it, climate change.
From 2025, all deliveries must be made in electric vehicles in 14 cities across the Netherlands. It will prevent CO2 emissions equivalent to taking 216,000 cars off the road. And businesses will get to help make the switch with grants of 5,000 euros towards an electric van or lorry.
They're paying people, go electric. We're paying you. Joe Biden's trying to do a carbon credit in America. This is not a conspiracy. They can't flag this fucking video. This ain't a conspiracy, what I'm telling you.
The cities implementing zero emission zones include Amsterdam and Tilburg. Other areas around the world are also banning exhaust fumes. In the U.S., Santa Monica has set up a voluntary zero-emission delivery zone. The UK's first zero-emission street has opened in central London. Beach Street will be closed to polluting vehicles for 18 months. The scheme could expand into London's financial district in 2022. What's your city doing to encourage cleaner, climate-resilient transport? Brought to you by people who want to keep you in a 15-minute prison city. The World Economic Forum. I'm the tyrannical lisp.
Post edit tyrannical voiceover attire. It still reflects the truth. Great Reset is pure fascism, hiding behind an effeminate homosexual veneer. Perhaps this is because some people see it as harmless, and others are rendered silent out of fear of being called homophobic. Or maybe fascism.
I ain't getting into all that gay shit. But what I'm telling you is, climate change will enslave the world. And that's a fact, Jack. And with all that being said, I thank you for tuning in to TaijhTV once again. It's been a wonderful episode. I hope you have been enlightened and entertained. Hit that subscribe button, share, comment, do your thing. And also, if you want to, donate to TaijhTV on Cash App. # TaijhTV. It's on the bottom here. And I'll see you next week. Have a good night and a good weekend. Peace out.